Man, let me tell you, nothing hits harder than finding out the person you trusted most in the world was playing you for a fool. I just, a regular IT guy from Dallas who thought he had it all. A solid job at Accenture, a gorgeous wife, a cozy 400K house in Richardson. Jessica, my wife of 7 years, was my everything. But one night, one damn text message flipped my entire world upside down. And let me be clear, this isn't just about her cheating. She didn't just break my heart, she cleaned me out for 8.2 million bucks after our divorce. Yeah, you heard that right. But here's the kicker. When I struck it rich with a $15 million lottery win a year later, she had the nerve to come crawling back, suing me for a piece of it. Guess what? I was ready. I set a trap so perfect it made her lose everything. Want to know how I pulled it off? Stick around, because this story's a wild ride. It all started 2 years ago. Life felt like a dream. I was pulling six figures as a senior IT consultant, working long hours but coming home to Jessica's smile. She was 32, an Instagram influencer with 25K followers, always posting about yoga, green smoothies, and our perfect life. We'd grill steaks in our backyard, binge Netflix on our beat-up leather couch, take weekend drives in our Honda CRV to grab Starbucks in Frisco. I thought we were untouchable. Sure, we had our fights. Who doesn't? But I trusted her. Hell, I worshipped her. She'd bat those big hazel eyes, toss her blonde hair, and I'd melt. I was that guy, the one who believed in happily ever after. But looking back, there were signs. Tiny cracks I ignored because, well, love makes you stupid, like how she started keeping her phone face down on the kitchen counter, or how she changed her passcode and got cagey when I asked why. Privacy, Ethan, she'd snap, rolling her eyes. I'd shrug it off, thinking I was being paranoid. Then, there were the late nights. She'd say she was at a yoga studio in Plano or meeting her influencer friends for drinks, but she'd come home smelling different. Not perfume, but something sharp, like men's cologne. I'd ask, and she'd laugh it off, saying I was overthinking. God, I hate that word now. The truth hit me like a freight train on a random Tuesday night. It was 11 p.m., and I was up late, debugging some code for a client. Jessica was supposedly at a brand event downtown. Her phone was charging on the nightstand. She'd forgotten it, which was weird. It buzzed, and I glanced over. A text from Kyle lit up the screen. Babe, last night was unreal. Same time tomorrow? My stomach dropped. I just stared at it, my heart pounding like I'd run a marathon. I knew I shouldn't, but I grabbed her phone. No passcode this time. She must have turned it off. I scrolled through their texts, pictures, plans, hotel receipts. This wasn't a one-time thing. Jessica had been cheating for months with some slick real estate bro named Kyle. Worse, there were texts about me. Ethan's clueless, she wrote. He's too busy with his nerd job to notice. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. My hands shook as I set the phone down. The house was dead quiet, except for the hum of the AC. I wanted to scream, to smash something, but I just sat there, numb. How could she do this? We had a joint Chase account, a life, a home. I thought about every late night I'd worked, every time I'd told her I loved her, and she'd smiled like she meant it. It was all a lie. I grabbed my phone and called my mom at 2 a.m. Yeah, I'm that guy. Ma, I don't know what to do, I said, my voice cracking. She listened as I spilled everything, her calm voice pulling me back from the edge. You're stronger than this, mijo, she said. You'll figure it out. But don't let her see you break. That call saved me. By the time Jessica got home at 1 a.m., I was calm. Too calm. She walked in, all breezy, like nothing was wrong. Hey, babe, event ran late, she said, kicking off her heels. I didn't say a word about the texts. Instead, I looked at her and thought, asterisk, you think you're so smart, Jess, but I'm about to play this game better. I knew confronting her right then would just give her the upper hand. She'd cry, gaslight me, make me feel like the bad guy. No way. I needed a plan. So I smiled, said, "Glad you had fun," and went to bed. Inside, I was raging, but she didn't need to know that. The next morning, I started moving. I called Amanda Mitchell, a lawyer friend from college who specialized in divorce. "Ethan, if she's cheating, we can use this," Amanda said, "but we need proof, and we need to protect your assets." I spent the day quietly gathering evidence. Screenshots of texts, bank statements showing weird withdrawals from our joint account, even her Instagram DMs with Kyle. I found out she'd been siphoning money into a separate account, thousands of bucks, my bucks. I felt like such an idiot. But that anger, it lit a fire. I wasn't just going to roll over. Jessica thought she had me wrapped around her finger, but she was about to learn who she was dealing with. Here's the thing. This wasn't just about her affair. Digging deeper, I found out Jessica was hiding way more than a side guy. She had secrets, dark ones, that would make your skin crawl. And trust me, when I say I was just getting started, I mean it. What I found next, it changed everything. Want to know what it was? Keep listening, because Jessica's about to wish she'd never crossed me. Jessica thought she'd won. She thought she could cheat, lie, and walk away with everything while I ate dirt. Man, was she wrong. After my wife of 7 years screwed me over, I hit rock bottom. Lost my house, my savings, damn near my dignity. But here's the thing. Hitting the bottom doesn't mean you stay there. I clawed my way back piece by piece. And just when I thought life was done kicking me, the universe tossed me a curveball that changed everything. Want to know how I went from a broken man to setting up the ultimate payback? Let's dive in. After finding those texts from Kyle, I didn't sleep. My brain was on fire, replaying every moment I'd been blind. But I kept my cool. Confronting Jessica too soon would have been like handing her a loaded gun. So I met with Amanda, my lawyer, at a Starbucks in Plano. Over a $5 latte, she laid it out. "Ethan, she's been moving money. We've got her on the affair, but she's playing dirty with the finances. You need to be smarter." Amanda was a shark, 40, sharp as hell, the kind of woman who could make a judge sweat. She found proof Jessica had funneled $23K from our joint Chase account into some shady account under her name. Worse, she'd forged my signature on a home equity loan for $45K. My house, my blood, and sweat, and she was bleeding it dry. The confrontation came a week later. I waited till Jessica was home, sipping wine on our couch like she wasn't torching our life. I walked in, calm as a monk, and said, "Jess, we're done. No yelling, no tears, just facts." I laid out the texts, the bank statements, the loan docs. Her face went from smug to ghost white. "Ethan, you're overreacting," she stammered, trying her usual gaslighting. But I was done. "Pack your stuff," I said. "We're getting divorced." She laughed like I was joking. "You'll regret this," she spat. "I'll take everything." I just stared at her, thinking, keep talking, Jess. You're digging your own grave. The divorce was a war. Jessica hired some slick lawyer from downtown Dallas who painted me as a workaholic who neglected her. She played the victim, crying in court about how she deserved the house, the cars, half my 401k. Her lawyer pulled every trick, fake receipts, doctored texts, even a claim I'd been emotionally abusive. Amanda fought like hell, but Jessica's lies were airtight. The judge, an old guy who looked like he'd heard it all, split everything down the middle. She got the $400K house in Richardson, half our savings, and I was stuck paying off her $45K loan. By the end, I walked away with $12K in debt, a beat-up Honda, and a gut full of rage. Jessica, she moved in with Kyle, posting Instagram stories from my backyard, sipping margaritas like she'd won the lottery. I could have fought harder, dragged it out, but Amanda was blunt. "Ethan, you're 35. You've got time to rebuild. Let her think she's won." So, I did. I let Jessica have the house, the money, the smug grin, but inside I was done being the nice guy. I moved into a $1,200 a month apartment in Garland, a dump with thin walls and a leaky faucet. My furniture, a $50 yard sale couch, and a mattress on the floor. I'd lie awake, hearing my neighbors argue, wondering how I'd gone from a six-figure job to eating ramen at 2 a.m. My buddy Mark, a network engineer who'd known me since college, dragged me to a dive bar one night. Over $3 Lone Stars, he said, "Man, you're not this guy. You're Ethan freaking Rodriguez. Get up." He was right. I wasn't going to let Jessica's betrayal define me. So, I got into work. I doubled down at Accenture, taking every project they threw at me. Nights, weekends, 80-hour weeks. Didn't matter. I was rebuilding. I canceled Netflix, quit eating out, joined $1.10 a month Planet Fitness to clear my head. Squatting 200 pounds at 6 a.m. became my therapy. I started reading too. Books on finance, psychology, even stoicism. I learned how people like Jessica think, how they manipulate. It was like putting on glasses for the first time. I saw her game. She'd preyed on my trust, my naivety. Never again. 6 months in, I was different. Leaner, sharper, hungrier. My boss noticed, gave me a lead on a big client project. Nailed it, got a $15K bonus, paid off half my debt. I started smiling again, cracking jokes with Mark over BBQ at Pecan Lodge. I'd drive past my old house sometimes, see Jessica's Toyota in the driveway, and feel nothing. Not anger, not pain. Just focus. I was done looking back. My mom would call, her voice warm but firm. "Mijo, you're finding yourself. Keep going." She'd mail me tamales, reminding me who I was. Those little things, a workout, a call, a plate of food, they stitched me back together. But Jessica, her perfect little world, was cracking. I heard through mutual friends she and Kyle were fighting. Her Instagram posts got desperate, fewer likes, more filters. She'd blown through the divorce money, racking up credit card debt. Kyle, the sleaze, was apparently cheating on her. Karma's a funny thing, huh? I didn't gloat, though. I was too busy building. My apartment wasn't a dump anymore. I'd saved enough for a decent TV, a real bed. I was sleeping better, dreaming bigger. I even started dating again. Nothing serious, just coffee dates at White Rhino in Uptown. Life was okay. Not great, but okay. I thought that was enough. Then, one night, I stopped at a Quick Trip off I-635 for gas. On a whim, I bought a $2 lottery ticket. Didn't think twice about it. Just scratched it off in my car. When I saw the numbers, my heart stopped. $15 million. I checked it 10 times, called the lottery office. Drove to their HQ in Austin the next day. It was real. After taxes, I'd clear $8.2 million. The exact amount Jessica had screwed me out of. I sat in my car, laughing like a maniac. The universe had a sick sense of humor. I didn't tell a soul except Amanda and my mom. Amanda set up a trust with Charles Schwab, made sure every penny was untouchable. I bought a modest $425K house in Frisco. Nothing flashy, just mine. I paid off my debts, donated to a local food bank, took Mark out for steaks. I was free. For the first time in years, I felt like me again. No, better than me. A man who'd been through hell and come out sharper. But Jessica? Oh, she wasn't done with me. Word got out about my win. Small towns talk, you know? And guess who showed up, looking like she'd seen better days, demanding her share? Yeah, my ex-wife had the audacity to sue me. Thought she could play me again. Big mistake. I was ready for war, and this time, I wasn't losing. Want to know what happened next? Trust me, you won't believe it. I thought I'd seen it all. Betrayal, divorce, rock bottom. But life's got a way of throwing curveballs that make you question everything. I'm Ethan Rodriguez, the guy who went from a cheated-on IT nerd to a man rebuilding his life in a $1,200 a month apartment in Garland. Just when I thought I was steady, scraping by with a new outlook and a clear head, the universe dropped a bomb. A $15 million lottery win. Yeah, you heard that right. 15 million bucks. It was like fate was laughing, saying, Ethan, you thought you were done. Hold my beer. But here's the twist. My ex-wife Jessica, the one who screwed me out of $8.2 million in our divorce, got wind of my win and came slinking back, thinking she could claw her way into my fortune. Want to know how it went down? Buckle up, because this is where things get wild. 6 months after the divorce, I was in a good place. Not rich, but solid. I'd paid off $6K of my $12K debt with a bonus from Accenture. My apartment wasn't a total dump anymore. I'd splurged on a $200 IKEA coffee table and a smart TV. I was hitting Planet Fitness at 6 a.m., benching 225 pounds, feeling like I could take on the world. Work was clicking. I'd landed a major client, a logistics firm in Dallas, and my boss was talking promotion. I'd even started enjoying the little things again, grabbing BBQ with my buddy Mark at Lockhart Smokehouse, calling my mom to laugh about her neighbor's yappy dog. Jessica was a ghost, a bad memory I'd buried, or so I thought. Meanwhile, Jessica's perfect little world was imploding. Word got around through mutual friends. Her Instagram influencer gig was tanking. Her 25K followers were dropping like flies, tired of her recycled yoga posts and fake smiles. She and Kyle, her sleazy real estate bro boyfriend, were hemorrhaging cash. They'd blown through the divorce money, maxed out credit cards, and the $400K house in Richardson was falling apart. Leaky roof, busted AC. Kyle, true to form, started stepping out on her. I heard he was spotted at a bar in Deep Ellum with some 20-something bartender. Jessica's stories went from living my best life to cryptic quotes about trust and karma. I didn't care enough to gloat, but damn, it felt good to know she was tasting her own medicine. Ever see someone's life unravel and feel that little spark of satisfaction? Yeah, that was me. Then came the night that changed everything. It was a random Thursday, and I was dog-tired from a 12-hour workday. Stopped at a quick trip off I-635 for gas and a Red Bull. The cashier, a kid with a nose ring, was pushing lottery tickets. $2, man. You never know, he said. I shrugged, tossed him a couple singles, and grabbed a scratch-off. Didn't even look at it till I was back in my Honda, parked under a flickering streetlight. I scratched it with a quarter, and my jaw dropped. 3 matching symbols. A phone number to call for prizes over $1 million. My hands were shaking as I dialed. The lady on the other end was calm, like she did this every day. Sir, you've won $15 million. Come to Austin tomorrow to verify. I laughed, thinking it was a prank, but she gave me an address and a claim number. I checked the ticket again, then again. By 2 a.m., I was wide awake, staring at the ceiling, heart pounding. Next morning, I drove 3 hours to the Texas Lottery Commission in Austin, ticket in my glove box like it was radioactive. The office was sterile, all beige walls and fluorescent lights. A guy in a cheap suit confirmed it. $15 million, minus federal and state taxes, would net me $8.2 million, the exact amount Jessica had taken in the divorce. I sat in my car afterward, laughing till I cried. It wasn't just the money. It was the irony. The universe was handing me a second chance. And I wasn't going to blow it. I called Amanda, my lawyer, first. Ethan, don't tell anyone, she warned. People get weird about money. She set me up with a financial advisor at Charles Schwab who parked the cash in a trust, safe from lawsuits or gold diggers. I paid off my $6K debt, bought a $425K house in Frisco. Nice but not flashy, with a big backyard for BBQs. I kept my Honda, upgraded my wardrobe with some $80 button-downs from Nordstrom Rack, donated $10K to a Dallas food bank. I took my mom to a steakhouse, watched her eyes light up over a $60 ribeye. I was careful, deliberate. No Lambos, no penthouses. I'd learned from Jessica's greed. Money doesn't fix stupid. Life felt good. I got a promotion to IT project manager, a $20K raise. I started coaching my nephew's soccer team, grabbing beers with Mark on weekends. I was 35, single, and free. I thought Jessica was history, just a bad dream. But small towns talk, and Dallas ain't that big. Someone, probably one of her old yoga buddies, spilled the beans about my win. I started getting weird texts from people I hadn't talked to in years. Hey, Ethan, let's catch up. Yeah, right. Then, one humid July evening, I got an email from Jessica. Subject line: We need to talk. My stomach twisted, but I opened it. She claimed she was entitled to half my lottery winnings because we'd been married when I developed the habit of buying tickets. I laughed out loud. This woman had some nerve. I called Amanda, who was already on it. She's got no case, Ethan, she said. The divorce agreement's ironclad, but she's desperate. Her house is in foreclosure. Kyle's gone. She's drowning in debt. I pulled up Jessica's Instagram on a whim. Her latest post was a selfie in a tight dress, captioned, "New beginnings." But her eyes were puffy, her smile forced. She was broke, alone, and grasping at straws. Part of me wanted to ignore her, let her crash and burn. But another part, the part that remembered every lie, every dollar she stole, wanted justice. Not revenge, not yet, just a chance to show her who I'd become. I met Amanda at her office downtown, a sleek high-rise with views of the Trinity River. She pulled out the divorce papers, the lottery docs, my trust agreement. She can sue, but she'll lose, Amanda said, tapping her pen. Judges don't entertain this nonsense. I nodded, but my mind was racing. Jessica wasn't just after money. She wanted to hurt me, to drag me back into her mess. I thought about the text with Kyle, her smug grin in court, the way she'd laughed when she thought she'd won. I wasn't that naive Ethan anymore. I was sharper, stronger, and I had $8.2 million reasons to play smart. Jessica's email was just the start. She started calling, leaving voicemails. Ethan, we can settle this quietly. Don't make it ugly. Then text, you owe me, after everything. I saved everyone, forwarded them to Amanda. I knew she was building a case, probably with some shady lawyer who smelled a payday. I could have shut it down, let the courts crush her. But something in me stirred, a plan, a spark. Jessica thought she could outsmart me again. She had no idea what was coming. Want to know how I turned her greed against her? Trust me, you're not ready for this. Jessica thought she could waltz back into my life and take what was mine. Again. After cheating, lying, and cleaning me out for $8.2 million in our divorce, she had the guts to sue me for half my $15 million lottery win. I'm an IT guy from Dallas who'd already crawled out of the hell she left me in. I'd rebuilt my life, bought a house in Frisco, and found my spine. But when Jessica showed up, looking like a cheap knockoff of her old self, demanding her share, I knew this wasn't just about money. She wanted to break me. Big mistake. I was done playing nice. And I had a plan to make sure she'd never come near me again. Want to know how it went down? Let's get into it. It started with that email, her bold, delusional claim that she deserved half my lottery winnings because we'd been married when I started buying tickets. I laughed so hard I nearly choked on my coffee. But the emails kept coming, each one nastier than the last. Ethan, don't make me drag this out, she wrote. You know I'll win. Then, voicemails, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. We can settle this like adults, babe. Babe. I saved every message, every text, and sent them to Amanda, my lawyer. She was already prepping for war. She's got nothing, Amanda said, leaning back in her office chair downtown. But she's desperate, and desperate people do stupid things. I saw Jessica in person a week later, outside a Whole Foods in Plano. I was grabbing groceries, minding my business, when I spotted her by the smoothie bar. She looked rough. Her blonde hair was stringy, her designer yoga pants swapped for $20 leggings. Her eyes locked on me, and she marched over like she owned the place. Ethan, she said, voice sharp, we need to talk. I kept my cool, clutching my cart. Nothing to talk about, Jess. You got your share? Her lips curled into that old, manipulative smile. You think you're untouchable now, huh? I built you. That money's half mine. I stared her down, heart steady. Good luck with that, I said, walking away. But inside I was boiling. She wasn't just greedy, she was unhinged. The harassment ramped up. Texts at 3 a.m. You'll regret this, Ethan. Emails with thinly veiled threats. I know people who can make your life hell. She even DM'd me on Instagram, a blurry selfie with the caption, You can't hide forever. I blocked her, but she made new accounts. Amanda filed a restraining order, but Jessica was relentless. She was betting I'd crack, offer a settlement to make her go away. But I wasn't that guy anymore. Every move she made, I was 3 steps ahead, documenting everything. I knew she'd overplay her hand. She always did. Then came the lawsuit. Amanda got served papers at her office, a 20-page complaint claiming Jessica was entitled to $7.5 million of my winnings. Her argument? We'd bought lottery tickets together during our marriage. So my win was marital property. It was laughable. But she'd found a sleazy lawyer, some guy named Vince who advertised on late-night TV. Amanda tore the complaint apart in 10 minutes. No judge will buy this, she said. The divorce agreement's airtight. You were done with her a year before the ticket. Still, Jessica's audacity lit a fire in me. She wasn't just after cash. She wanted to humiliate me, to drag me through the mud again. I told Amanda, let her sue. I want her in court. The hearing was set for a county courthouse in Dallas, a gray building that smelled like old coffee and bureaucracy. I wore a $200 suit, sat next to Amanda, and watched Jessica strut in like she was on a catwalk. She'd cleaned up, fresh highlights, a tight red dress, fake tears ready. Her lawyer, Vince, was all slick hair and cheap cologne, spinning a sob story about how Jessica had supported me through our marriage, how my win was our dream. Amanda didn't flinch. She presented the divorce agreement, my lottery ticket receipt, dated a year after we split, and a stack of Jessica's threatening texts. The judge, a no-nonsense woman with gray streaks, barely looked up. Miss Parker, she said, you have no claim here. Case dismissed. Jessica's face crumpled, her mascara smudging. I kept mine blank, but inside, I was cheering. Outside the courthouse, she lost it. She cornered me by the parking lot, Amanda a few steps behind. You think this is over? Jessica hissed, her voice low. I'll ruin you, Ethan. You'll see. Her eyes were wild, like a trapped animal's. I didn't blink. Try it, I said, walking past her. Amanda grabbed my arm, whispering, she's unraveling. Be careful. I nodded, but my mind was already spinning. Jessica's threats weren't empty. She was too stubborn to quit. But neither was I. She thought she could scare me. But I was about to turn her game against her. That night, I sat in my Frisco house, sipping a $5 Lone Star, staring at the text she'd sent. Mark came over, cracking open a beer. Man, she's nuts, he said. You gotta end this. I nodded, but I wasn't thinking restraining orders or lawsuits. I was thinking bigger. Jessica's greed was her weakness, and I knew exactly how to use it. I called Amanda the next day, laid out my idea. It's risky, she said, but her voice had a spark. If we do this right, she'll bury herself. The plan was simple, but brutal. Bait her with something she couldn't resist, let her think she was winning, then watch her crash. I wasn't just protecting my money, I was protecting my peace. I started small, leaking a rumor through a mutual friend that I was investing in a hot new project, some tech startup in Deep Ellum. I knew Jessica's ears would perk up. She'd always chased shiny things. Sure enough, she bit. A week later, she emailed me, all fake politeness. Heard you're doing big things, Ethan. Maybe we can work together. I didn't respond, but I let the rumor grow. Amanda and I set the stage, planting just enough bait to hook her. Jessica thought she was hunting me, but I was the one laying the trap. She had no idea how deep this would go, or how bad it would end for her. This wasn't about revenge. Okay, maybe a little. It was about showing Jessica who I'd become. The Ethan she married was gone, replaced by a man who didn't bend, didn't break. She'd pushed me too far, and now she'd pay the price. Want to know how I sealed her fate? Trust me, the final move was a masterpiece. Jessica thought she was untouchable, that she could slink back into my life and steal my $15 million lottery win like she stole everything else. I'm Ethan Rodriguez, the guy who went from a cheated-on IT nerd to a man with an $8.2 million fortune and a score to settle. After she sued me and lost, I could have walked away. But Jessica's threats outside that Dallas courthouse, her wild eyes, her promise to ruin me, lit a fuse. She wasn't done, so neither was I. I set a trap so perfect it didn't just stop her, it destroyed her. Want to know how I turned her greed into her downfall? Here's the endgame. Amanda, my lawyer, and I knew Jessica's weakness. She'd chase any shiny promise of cash. So, we crafted a fake investment opportunity, a tech startup called Deep Elm Ventures. I leaked word through a friend that I was pouring millions into it, hyping it as the next big thing. Jessica, drowning in debt and desperate, took the bait. She emailed me, all fake charm. Ethan, let's talk business. I want in. I didn't reply, but Amanda sent her a confidential pitch deck full of buzzwords. AI, blockchain, unicorn potential. It was catnip for someone like her. The catch? To invest, she had to prove her financial credibility with bank statements and trading records. We knew she'd fake them. She always did. Jessica didn't just bite. She swallowed the hook. She forged documents, claiming she had $500K in a brokerage account. Problem was, she used a shady offshore platform tied to insider trading scams. Amanda had tipped off a contact at the SEC who flagged the docs to the FBI. Jessica thought she was about to cash in, strutting into a meeting at a rented office in Deep Ellum. Instead, she walked into a sting. 2 agents in cheap suits cuffed her right there, reading her rights while she screamed, "This is Ethan's fault!" I wasn't even in the room, but man, I wish I'd seen her face. She was charged with securities fraud, a federal rap that carried real weight. Her trial was quick. Her own forged papers buried her. The judge sentenced her to 18 months in a low-security prison in Fort Worth, plus a $50K fine she'd never pay. Her Instagram? Deleted. Her brand? Dust. I didn't gloat. Okay, maybe a little. Mark and I cracked open Lone Stars at my Frisco house, toasting to karma with a side of handcuffs. My mom called, her voice warm. "Mijo, you didn't just win. You grew." She was right. This wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming my life. Jessica had taken my trust, my home, my savings. I took back my power. But I didn't stop there. I set up a $100K trust, the Rodriguez Fund, to help divorce scam victims, people like me, blindsided by betrayal. I worked with a Dallas nonprofit, mentoring guys rebuilding their lives, sharing my story over coffee at White Rhino. It wasn't about the money, it was about purpose. I'd been to hell and back, and if I could help one person climb out, it was worth it. Jessica's in prison now, probably cursing my name. I don't care. She didn't just lose. She obliterated herself, all because she couldn't resist one last grab. Me? I'm 35, debt-free, living in a house I own outright. I coach my nephew's soccer team, grill ribs with Mark, date when I feel like it. I'm not perfect, but I'm happy, the kind of happy you earn. Jessica wanted to destroy me, but she only wrecked herself. And me? I'm living better than ever. That's justice. Not just winning, but thriving while your enemy chokes on their own lies. Underscore, 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 underscore. Word count, 666. Engagement, prompt. How does it feel to see justice served? Share your thoughts below. Thumbnail suggestion. Jessica in handcuffs? Ethan smiling confidently in the background. Title suggestion. She tried to ruin me. I made her pay the ultimate price.